Yo, alright, back again. Haven't been uploading for a while, so here's a new one. This is the frame that I rode for Crankworks, and I've been riding it for the last 6 months. It's time to build up a new one. I've got a nice big selection of parts here, and I'm just going to build up a new bike. Yeah, luckily Suntour sent me a lovely new set of forks to build on it. Got new seats and fabric, new bars and Sonic and stem and pedals. Actually, these are the same pedals I used on my last bike, but I don't care. Cranks were like 2 weeks old, so there's no real point in changing them. Yeah, it's all pretty much like new a couple of weeks ago, so there's not much point in changing most of it, but still going to look sick, and I'm stoked to build up a new bike for the next upcoming contest. I'm going to Glenride next week, and the following weekend I'm going to Big White in, where is it? Oh, in Kelowna. And then I'm going to Highland Mountain, which I'm absolutely stoked about. Legendary place in the world of mountain biking, which I'm pretty stoked about. But yeah, I've just completely pillaged this bike. It's completely bare. This one might go on the wall, because this is the first bike frame that I rode at Crankworks in slopestyle, which I'm pretty stoked with. Yeah, that one's going to go on the wall and be kept for a while, I think. Don't think it's probably safe for someone else to ride anyway. Alright, take this one down, I'll put the new one in the stand, you'll be able to see it. Oh. Oh. So this is my new frame for the rest of the season, which I'm pretty stoked about. GT have made me a lovely new colourway. I can get all the stuff off it yet, you'll be able to see it properly. But yeah, I'm so stoked. We've done a few things, a few little changes to the frame as well, which is quite cool. Main thing is they put gyro tabs directly onto the frame, so I don't have to get a brand new frame out of the box and then drill holes in it, which is kind of scary to do sometimes. But yeah, here she is. Oh, look at that. Insane blue. Tabs drilled straight, so I don't have to worry about anything, which is amazing. Thing that's so sick with the GTs is they come with built-in chain tensioners, so you literally don't have to do anything. It's the best thing ever. You just have to just wind that bolt in, get your wheel back nice and tight. So the first thing I'm going to fit is the bottom bracket. So I've got these two lovely stainless cups from Rota. Chuck a bit of copper slip on them, stick them in. I'd usually drill and tap the bottom of the cup, the bottom frame, like down here, to put a so I can add some friction to my bottom bracket so it doesn't spin. But because I've got chain tensioners, I can run my chain nice and tight, and my brakes don't spin. So yeah, I'm going to chuck them in. Thing that's sick that Rota do is whenever you buy a bottom bracket, they send you a tool to be able to put it in or remove it, which is pretty sick of them. So I need to put in the drive side first, which I'm on the right hand side of the bike. So cup in first. Nip that one up again. Right, lovely fresh new axle going to go in. I think they do like 3 different sizes. So they do the standard, boost, and then the downhill ones. Yeah, thing that's really safe is if you have any issues, you can just replace an axle instead of having to buy a whole new crank set, which is quite cool. Just slot that one in. Probably should use a mallet, but right hand works just as well. Got space on that side. So I run, it's a bit dirty, but I run a 28 tooth. Go straight on there. And then I need to take this crank arm. I'm going to put some grease on the thread because it's a new one going in. So grease in there. I'm a bit obsessed with copper slip at the moment. I don't know why. This seems to work really well. And that one goes on. I have an 8mm Allen key. All up. nice and tight. Don't want that coming loose. The other side comes with like a locking ring on it, so if you need to like tighten it, you can like tighten this one up to take up some space, which is quite cool. She's nice and tight now. Cool. Alright, so that's crank fitted. Spinning lovely. I'm going to now fit the brake assembly for the rear brake. I run a gyro on my bike, so I have to fit normal BMX gyro cables. Luckily normal Odyssey BMX cables work, which is quite sick. But I need to put the tabs in and then run it all through. I'm going to change some of the bolts on the back of the caliper for tie bolts because I've got them. I may as well make it as light as possible. Alright, so I need to put in the gyro tabs, which just scat everywhere. There we are. Cool. Clankies. And I need a 2.5, I believe. Yep, 2.5mm Allen key. And then thread them into there. If I'm going to put in, there we go. Get in there now. Come on. Right, so yeah, gyro tabs. You can see the holes here. Top one is just the stud hole. The bottom one is threaded. It just makes it fitting on a normal BMX gyro setup so much nicer for when you're on slopestyle, because I don't have to worry about counting my bar spins or tail whips. Not that I do that many bar spins, but it's one thing less to think about, which is pretty sick. Colour's pretty close with the pedals and the decals, which I'm pretty stoked with. Only thing that's a bit annoying, I've got to run my old wheels that I run for the last like 2 years. Hopefully something's going to work out and I'll get some new ones very soon. Right there. That works lovely. So that one goes in there. And then as this one finally starts coming together, annoyingly is I'm not even going to get a chance to ride this bike before I have to fly for a contest, so it's literally going to get taken apart again once I've built it. Once I've probably ridden it around outside in the car park for like 5 minutes, but it's better than nothing. Then I'm going to be taking it apart, putting it in a bike bag. Feels a bit bad to it sometimes. Right, tap that to get past the paint again. So stoked to have frames that have got pre-drill gyro tabs. It's such a pain in the arse doing it yourself. Makes my life 10 times easier. Right, so I'm going to put on the bottom gyro cables. Turn that one up, turn it to there. Right, put that one in. Once we get this all threaded in and together, it starts to look a bit more like my bike, like the normal. I might come up thread in. Sometimes you 10mm, that's not good. Just get that past the cool, thread it all the way in. Get the cables back in there properly. Little cable guide here which come on the frame, which are like double sized, so you can fit 2 cables. So the bike is designed to run gears frame, so it would be for back brake and gear cable, but because I'm going to run gyros, I've got the 2 there, so I can attach it which makes it look nice and neat, which is quite cool. Select those, get that round, attach that there. It's looking better already. So because I run the duals, I end up with this big, come on focus, because I run duals I end up with this big chunk of metal on my frame, which if you don't put this little bit of furriness on it, it just rattles and bangs and makes loads of noise, which is a bit annoying. So a little bit of, I think they're designed for cables, pretty sure they're like cable tidies, but I just put it on there to stop it rattling because I hate having a noisy bike. So right, so that's that attached. Or Pro Gold, I think it is actually. Yeah, Pro Gold lube. For cables, it's insane. Just lubricates it, stops it from grinding and feeling like crap. So just squirt that in there, and I'll put it inside the barrel as well. Just lube her up. Has a bit of lube sometimes. Back on there. That on there. Sick. Cable's kind of done. Right, I'm going to now detach all of this brake assembly that's on here now, all of this stuff, and then replace all the bolts for my nice titanium ones. Right, so I need a 5mm, which I did have in my hand 2 seconds ago. Why do I always do this? Found it, 5mm. Oh. And for all that say that titanium bolts aren't very strong, I've been running the same type bolts for nearly 2.5 years. Some say I'm a cheap ass not buying new ones, which I'm Cornish, so yeah. But if they're not broke, don't fix them. So I'm not going to bother. And I don't think they make the black ones anymore. The black ones are the best. So, alright, take that off. Or tie prep, some people call it, but it's all the same stuff. Put it in. Fit the caliper now, I think. So I run a TRP caliper, which comes like a dual pull caliper, which is quite cool. So it just gives you maximum tension, but nice and even pull. Shouldn't have one pulling more than the other, which is quite nice. But yeah, I just put some fresh Shimano pads in it, so should be lovely. So the caliper goes on there. Cool, so that's that attached. Here's my 5mm again. I'm pretty sure it's the same place where I had it on the last bike, so I'll just nip that one up again. And yes, I have put tie bolts on this as well, because why not? Nip that one up. Cool, nice and easy. That's the caliper fitted. I'm now going to put in. Now I'm going to fit the back wheel. I need to change the rotor because I've got a new rotor put on. Alright, caliper's on. It's all done. Now I'm going to fit the back wheel. I've got to change the rotor because I've got a new one to fit, and that one's old and roached. I've absolutely destroyed it. So yeah, new caliper, no, new pads, new disc, but I'm going to just change the disc, and I'll show you the easiest way to do it, which some people think is completely barbaric and ridiculous to do it, where it works so much faster than doing it by hand. So, but when you've got the tools to do it, you may as well use them. Why would you not? It should save me moments, which this day and age, every moment counts. And yes, I'm running tie bolts on the wheel as well. So in there, nip them off. I only run 4 on my jump bike because I don't need to run that many more. It's not going to be taking too much load really, because it's just designed to skid more than anything. Not really controlling speed or anything with this. So get that off, go that way, and I'll get the fresh one. So fresh XT rotor going on. Where have I just dropped all of those bolts to? Oh, you idiot. Oh, brilliant. Back in a sec. So that time you save by using the drill isn't actually that useful because you end up losing your bolts and then you've got to try and find them. So you spend 5 minutes trying to find them. I've got 2 of them. Can't really see it. I've got 2. I see to find the other one. Pretty sure I had 2 in there. Is it 3? Right, let me try and find this a minute. Right in front of me. Right, there's 3. Cool, 3 rotor bolts going back in. I thought I was running 4, but obviously I was running 3. But his bit keeps falling out, which is really useful. Oh no, I did have 4. I found the other one. I was kneeling on it. 4 going in. I'm absolutely amazed by these wheels. I've been running them for, I think, the best part of I think my front wheel I have been running for nearly 2 years. Back wheel I think I've changed once in 2 years. So a rear wheel for a year on the amount of abuse that I give it is actually incredible. So you see the chains like this, super loose. Pop that one in there. Turn it a few times. And now look at the chain. Oh. Like a bowstring. Perfect. The other reason having grub screws built in is insane, because when it comes to getting your wheel in straight, because at the moment it's a little bit out, all I need to do is tighten the one on the other side. So yeah, do the same, but on the other side. I'll try and reach around so you can actually see what I'm doing, not just see my arm. So yeah, thread that one in. Feel it go tight in a second. To be fair, it's fitting quite nicely, so not going to tighten it too much. The best way to get your brake to line up is to run it with the brake on. So you spin the wheel, drag the back brake, and it will actually centre itself, and then you can just nip the bolts up with the brake on. So I'll wait to do that in a second, but yeah, that one's loose, so steering's nice. Alright, headset top and bottom, just the sealed units. Best thing with this, it's an integrated headset, so there is no cut to fit, it just goes straight into the alley frame, which is pretty sick. Just make sure that you, when you fit it, grease bearings obviously, but not too much, obviously just fill it with, like, all the grit will stick to it, but enough so it doesn't squeak and make loads of annoying noises. Right. Top cut, straight in nice and easy. A little bit more grease on the top as well, just to share the love a little bit. Right. There's the bottom as well. Got the lid down easier. Finger is the best way to do it. Definitely should have gloves on because I'm just getting covered in grease now. But, right, bottom cut can go in. These all just come straight out of my old bike. They're all in perfect reusable condition, so there's no point spending a load of money on new bearings. That's those fitted. One thing I do need to do is, because these are a brand new set of Sun Tours, which I'm very glad that they turned up in time because I was a bit worried for a second, but new set of forks, I need to cut the steer tube down. Easiest way that I found to do it is just use a pipe cutter. You might have seen other YouTube guys, as in Pilgrim and Matt, use pipe cutters. I'm not going to use a curve like Pilgrim. I've got another technique which works just as well. So yeah, luckily for me, because I have my old forks, I can measure the marks. I've got a little mark on the fork just there. You probably can't see it because it won't focus, but little mark just there, so I can line up the bolt. Just the normal pipe cutters. Any plumbing store do these, but they work really well. And then just launch it on. And go through. So this is a technique I got shown by a mechanic the other day. If you take the old bit of steer tube and run it across the top, it gets all the bird edges. Same with the inside. Scratch it in. Burrs it off for you so you don't have any sharp edges. Good little tip that, I like that. So one thing I did almost forget before I fitted those was you need the wrist to go on the bottom of the forks. I don't have a new one, this is the one that's come straight off my old set of forks. Might just need to give them a little tap with the hammer to get them on. Fitted. So this is where the fun and games come of trying to fit forks onto a bar without them just dropping to the floor. So the best way I do it is I just make sure I've got a spare stem which I can put on the top and just nip it up before I put the bike on the floor. But could put the bike on the floor, would be a bit easier, but got a nice work stand and just alright. Many old stems that just work. Right. So I need my like dust seal race, and then I need spacers. So the first part you need to fit on the headset once you've got the bearings in is this race. That's what the bearing runs on. If you don't fit that, your forks won't work, which is nice. That goes straight in there, nice and easy. Then there is the stem stack of spacers, and then the fork goes up through all of them. Cool, so getting the space by carbon spacer. Alright, goes on there. Just plonk that on there for 2 seconds. Oh, right, so the next thing I'm going to fit is handlebars. These literally come straight off my other bike. I couldn't be asked to take them apart just because they're going straight back onto the same thing. But yeah, I run a Shadow Conspiracy gyro, which I'll explain my gyro setup here very shortly. It's a bit complicated, but I trust it and it works. I'm going to get the bike on the ground to do this because I don't really care. Right. Gyro. So that one fits over there. Slides in. Straight on. So one of my favourite things about the GT Luomba frame is that the head tube angle, the head tube size is the same as a BMX. So I can run a BMX gyro the right way up, use all the gyro plates, and it just works perfect. There's no faffing with making parts or anything for them, they just go straight on. The one that's the thing about this particular gyro, the Shadow one, is it comes with 2 little tiny little grub screws just in here, and I can then cut my cables and grub screw them so I can have my bars and cables like super neat on the top. I can use nicely. No brake rub. So yeah, I find that is the easiest way to set up a caliper. I probably need to dial it in a little bit more, but just throw it in and do that, it makes life so much easier. So the last thing I need to fit, actually not the last thing, almost the last thing, is the front wheel. Front wheel needs to go in, that one in there, and then I can put the seat on, and then I'm all good to go. And I'll go take it for a couple of little hot 180s probably somewhere. But yeah, alright, front wheel in. Oh, I need to attach all the cables. The thing that's really sick with some sort of forks is they actually come with a quick release bolt through axle, which is very nice. Like no Allen keys, just a proper quick release, but how the system actually works is insane. It's so solid, like so strong and just durable. Put wheel in, axle through, move it up, nipped up. Oh, she's there. Oh, it looks so sick with the blue. So soaked on this new colour. So it's a different day. It got to about 1 o'clock and I was still fiddling with the bike, so stopped with that, went to sleep. Finally got it put together, it's finally done. And it looks insane. It looks actually incredible, I'm so stoked with it. Only thing I wanted just to do, which I thought you guys might be quite interested in as well, I'm just going to chuck it on the scales and see how much she weighs. She's pretty light, she's pretty much full titanium, all the headset spaces are carbon. It's got lightweight inner tubes in it and everything. Right. Ready? Oh. Oh. If you can see it. It's won't focus. 11.1 kilo. That's pretty insane for pretty much a full aluminium bike. Now I've got it out in the sunlight, it looks even more insane. Looks incredible, the blue just looks ridiculous.